James Bear. Recognize that name? If not, to you, my brave soldier, who somehow found this video not intended for you.
Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well.
And to those who are already familiar with his name, I'm remaining to tell you why thousands of comments and tweets won't stop talking about him. So James Bear is a really popular animator who admitted to having sex with his 9-year-old sister a while ago, and when it died down, tried to delete everything about it. And then someone on Twitter bring it back up with an 182-page document, so I decided to read all of it since no other YouTubers are actually doing it. With 10 chapters and 22,000 words, we can finally start reading. So sit back, relax, get some snacks, and let's go straight into the video. Chapter 1. Twitter chats. Reading from pages 2 to 67, I was surprised by the information I found and decided to summarize for you guys. This is basically the DMs between James and the author, who I think's name is Aaron. I'm not really sure, I can't confirm that. James apparently DM'd him while he was depressed, just talking about how he wishes he had a girlfriend. And this is kind of where it started, where James was basically jealous of the author's relationship with this girl named Claire. Dude keeps complaining about how he doesn't have a girlfriend. Looks like this fellow has a severe lack of pheromones. And he just keeps telling him over and over again that he's so lucky to have Claire. You said you had a rough day? Well, it shouldn't really matter, as you have someone you love that can cheer you up. You should be lucky. I'm never lucky. Freak my life. I'll never know how love feels once again. Life is crappy, get used to it. But it's more crappy if you're me. I'm just everyone's problem. Literally showing that he's jealous of him. And weirdly texts with the same sad emojis in almost every sentence. Just want to note one thing really quick. They're literally teenagers when this happened, so that's kind of why they're talking like this. And then for some reason, James decided to ask how he can impress Claire. And for some reason, the author said that he should probably draw her, but this dude had the audacity to say he was going to draw her naked. Oh! And will frequently say that he's a really bad friend. And then admits to having sex with his 9-year-old sister when he was 13. What the fuck? Because he was depressed. Doing it from 2013 to 2015 and 2016. And mentions that he almost ended his life. He meets this girl online named Toxic Soul and actually has a crush on this girl, who actually eventually rejects him, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Double homicide.
But as the conversation goes on, they're mostly talking about Aaron and Clarissa's relationship, and it's just James being worried that he's basically using her for her art. And then when he's finally accused of being jealous, his whole demeanor changes. See what I did there with the whole joke, because his demeanor changes when he turns green. Get the joke? No. Okay. And then they just start arguing and insulting each other's animation styles, which was kind of stupid. And then as time goes on, they just stop talking to each other. And then for some reason, Clarissa breaks up with Aaron. I don't know why, he didn't really specify that. And who do you think she was dating after that? I think it's pretty obvious. Jamsteo! And then proceeded to text him like it was an anime betrayal scene. But half of the document is literally just him cussing out James and just insulting him multiple times. It's extremely immature for his age. Chapter 2. Skype chat. So this part is when James added him on Skype only to talk about Claire and accuses him of only dating her for her art again, and then tries to make Aaron look bad by making it look like he only wanted her for her art, which actually makes her cry. And now it just looks like he's trying to break them up, and then admits to still liking her. And then they have another depressing conversation, and then for some reason James decides to say that he hopes Toxic gets raped by black guys.
I don't like where this is going.
I already don't like him. I never even watched this dude until now. Chapter 3. Girls. Aaron begins this chapter talking about how James basically made an animation for a big YouTuber named Vanamelon for her cover song Let It Snow. Then shows a frame where James is being kissed by Vanamelon, which he thought was kind of creepy. The rest of the chapter was just Aaron insulting James over and over again. And then I found out that apparently the video was removed. When I looked it up, I just found like one clip of it. Really bad quality though. It's literally the only video I could find. Then goes on to talk about about Toxic Soul, the other girl that he had a crush on. And then Aaron explains that he's gotten a really weird and huge obsession over her and weirdly draws himself as a slave to her. And then dude continues to add unnecessary information that we really don't care about. To me, it just seems like dude's just being a simp. And I think this other girl named Alyssa found out that he liked her and then tried to expose him and tried to talk about his past to everyone. And that segment ends with him reminding us of the rape joke he made. And apparently there was another girl named Claire that he was talking to that he also had a crush on. But apparently this girl voiced a famous character from Super Y, that kids show from like, I don't know, the 2000s. Apparently she was going to voice over a gender bent version of James. James was told to keep her identity a secret. And then James says he has a crush on her and wants to date her. Just want to note that really quick. She's 21 and he's 16. So this would be really weird, and that's disgusting. And for some reason Aaron is like extremely mad about this, like because the simple fact that in the Twitter chats part that I didn't mention, he called him a pedophile because he was 19 and she was 16, which apparently is legal. It's only legal if you don't have sex, which I didn't know. The thing I thought was stupid is that he was mad about this because he has a crush on an older girl and you're like dating a younger girl. How is that weird? But like he did have sex with his 9-year-old sister, so that still stands. And then I read some more and realized that she actually liked him back, so that's still even worse. Then I proceeded to see if it was legal, and it wasn't. And then I realized I become the world's stupidest person. Then I read some more and realized this dude is a Christian, and now I feel like the worst person on the planet. But Claire rejected him, so I feel slightly better. Back to the topic at hand. It talks about more of the same information over and over again, and then finally the next chapter. Chapter 4, Fetishes. At this point I'm regretting reading these out loud, but at this point Aaron's just making fun of his weird fetishes. Like he's got a big arm fetish and a demon fetish. But one thing that really freaked me out is that he drew Clarissa naked while eating him alive, and also has a not safe for work fetish. I mean, he puts boobs in all of his thumbnails, so that one's kind of obvious. And a sad James fetish, I don't think that's what I don't think that's a fetish. I think all animators draw themselves sad. I think that's a normal thing. But dude also drew himself pointing a gun at himself. It's kind of sad, but like that's not a fetish. That's just kind of sad. But the rest of the chapter he's just making fun of these, which is kind of stupid and immature. Chapter 5, Unfinished Projects. This doesn't really help at all. It's just mentioning all of the unfinished series he's made, and then Aaron's just making fun of him for not finishing these. I'm just gonna skip chapter 5 because that one wasn't important at all. And chapter 6, James attacked my friend. This last part was explaining that James was basically jealous of this guy named Darius, who was apparently friends with Aaron, because they added him to a call and Clarissa was laughing at almost everything he said, and James would get mad about this every single time and just decided to make him a villain in his Claire and James show, which really isn't an attack. Well, probably, I don't know, probably a personal or something. I think that's just him being mean and jealous. And the last chapter is just him talking about how he was feeling and what he was going through. Can't read this document without thinking it was a 13-year-old boy writing it because of the really bad grammar and punctuation. The only viable information on this doc is that he had sex with his 9-year-old sister. That's probably the only reason why this source is credible, because there's literally proof that he admitted to doing this. But if he did not point that out in the beginning, nobody would believe this. But yeah, the entire doc was just Aaron cussing him out repeatedly, and then James being really weird and gross. He's already admitted to this last year, I think. With what's being brought up about me, I have to admit about the sister thing. It did happen, but only once. When we were just kids, it was consensual. 9 years old is not the age of consent. Anything else about me being a pedophile or grooming minors is not true whatsoever. Those messages are over 4 years old to a 13-year-old while I was only 16 years old. Therefore, I was a minor myself. I made a mistake when I was a kid and I didn't know it was bad, but those mistakes I made all those years ago don't define who I am today. I'm a completely different person. I will be taking a break since the threats and false accusations have taken a huge toll on Claire and I's mental health. So yeah, I just wanted to clear up the air on that front. He also responded recently, and this is what he said. My response for the 5th and final time. First of all, I would like to apologize to those who are upset and disgusted by some of the claims that are being thrown at me by what appears to be a premeditated attack attack on me as a person. Second, I'm ashamed for what occurred in my past and I'm working towards being a better human being. However, the claim of me being a pedophile, rapist, and a molester is not true. The amount of harassment and threats that I've been receiving because of this is astronomical. Third, about my past, as much as it pains me to confront it, my past was never meant to be public knowledge and was leaked 5 years ago by a person who hated my guts for ridiculous reasons, which is why that document exists. It was a childish attempt on trying to make me break up with someone they liked and wanted back. As time went on and after dealing with this situation on multiple occasions within the last 5 years of my life, I'm being labeled as a monster yet again, and I'm forced to respond to these people. My past again was never meant for anyone to hear and was a sick, twisted ploy to make me look bad, when really these people, and including you reading this, don't know my full story. You don't know my personal life. You don't know me personally, and you will never get to know. Because I don't need to tell you. I don't owe you any more attention because I'm trying to be a better human being each passing day, and again, those who have ill will against me, I'm sorry. I'm flawed just like everyone else. This will be my 5th and final response to all of this. I'm tired of having to deal with it once again, and I want to move on with my life. What I'm wondering is why he decided to delete it when it all died down. But like, I'm wondering why people are calling him a molester, because he's not a pedophile either. It happened when he was 13. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe and keep your depression. Peace.